The biggest takeaway from this report is that the businesses are nowhere near as pessimistic as they were in 2009. And in fact, they aren't even as pessimistic as they were in 2001. They really, as a whole, are looking at being in a position that next year is going to be an area of growth. They aren't worrying about the economy really slowing down. They're looking at the future as possibilities, not as when is this going to end. This recession isn't really that the economy is broke. This recession is the result of a virus, and a virus that's causing us to have to shut down parts of our economy in order to keep us all safe. And as a result, what we're finding is that as those restrictions go away, people come back pretty quickly, and much quicker than we maybe thought they would a year ago. There's $1 trillion more savings in the United States today than there was before COVID started. We saw people, even in the bottom 25% of incomes, ended the year with more money in their checking accounts on average than they did at the beginning of the year. That means that the consumer is not at a point where they can't spend. They're at a point where they won't spend because they're scared of the virus, or they're scared that this might last a long time, or they can't spend because they can't go to a restaurant or go to a venue. But as soon as they can do that, they're going to have this pile of cash that lets them do it. As we talk to employers, they're having a hard time finding employees that will do the jobs that they want to have done. And so they're not able to grow as fast as they want to because there's not enough workers here. So we did lose some workers. We had people retire early. We had people who had to stay at home and left their job because they had to do caregiving and homeschooling and all of those sorts of things. So we've seen that, but we had a much smaller drop in our labor force here than some places in the United States. So we still have a good labor force here. We didn't lose that much, and we're primed and ready. 48% of the businesses that we surveyed said that they were going to increase their employment more than 3% over the course of the next year. But what's really weird is we still have 22% who say they're going to shrink next year. So because of the fact that we have these service industries that have been drastically affected by the shutdown, those face-to-face jobs, there's a sense of a part of the economy that's just firing on all cylinders, full steam ahead. 2021 is, by the middle of 2021, we have 48% of the firms saying that they're going to be back to pre-COVID levels, right? But we have more than 20% that say they won't be there by the end of the year. All right. So we're really starting to see this sense of haves and have-nots in the economy. And that's really being driven by how the fear of the virus or the danger of the virus has affected their individual businesses.